Hello everyone, it's week 2 of annual enrollment period and we're just about getting started. Today's Monday. I think one of the things that we all need to kind of work on is getting a feel for which plans are popular this year. So in the area that I primarily do my selling for Medicare Advantage in Hawaii, and Hawaii has a new plan. And it's on a lot of people's minds, but yet a lot of people are apprehensive because the new plan doesn't always mean that it's going to work correctly, right? And a lot of people are kind of holding on to their the plan that they've had for so long because they like it, right? I talked about that in another video. But we need to be kind of, I guess, aware of all the different little things that come up on these plans. And if you're an agent who has been in the business for a long time, you should catch on to a lot of these things. For example, this is one I use all the time, transportation. Now, transportation is a benefit that I can see a lot of people needing. Being able to get someone to take you from the doctor office or from home to the doctor appointment back home. If you need cataract surgery, you need somebody, you can't drive. If you have any kind of procedure that requires you to be under anesthetics, anesthesia, you typically will need somebody to drive you home because most times you're not unable to drive for probably the rest of the day, especially if you're a senior. But that benefit rarely ever works in Hawaii. I've seen it tons of times. So we have to be aware of how all those little intricate benefits work. And the only way you can really do that is to call. And the way I like to do, kind of keep in touch with that, is to ask the local sales support. So if the benefit is offered by Humana, find out from the Humana broker sales, regional sales director, if those things are working and if they have found a reliable, or if they are using a reliable source, and what the customer feedback is. Because the last thing even that they want as a Humana broker sales rep is for you to enroll somebody, then to have a very poor experience, and then that reflects negatively on the plan. Because all of these, at least on a human level, right? Like, as long as you have a good relationship with the broker sales director, they don't want to lose your faith. They don't want to have your clients lose faith in you. So as long as you have that kind of a base relationship, you should be able to get reliable information that is not really, that goes beyond that the summer benefits explanation, right? Because I'll give you a good example of this. If, let's say, this person scheduled surgery and the transportation is supposed to come pick them up, right? You can't be late for surgery, usually. And they don't show up. What's that person gonna do, right? Then now they have to call an Uber or a taxi, and that could be really expensive. And they're gonna be thinking the whole time, why did I even bother with this, using this benefit or sign up for this benefit if it doesn't work? And on the other side, when it's time to pick them up, if no one shows up, this person could be stranded there at the hospital with no ride home. And some of these people, right, they don't even have like reliable cell service. They might not even have a real way to get there. So make sure that if you're using, or if you are talking about any of these extra benefits, or if potentially you know that a provider or a doctor office is really bad at seeing people on time, use those things to your advantage, right? Use those things to say, hey, my secondhand experience is XYZ. I have a doctor that I work with, or not that I work with, but a lot of my patients go to, or my members go to. Doctor is consistently 45 minutes, 2 hours late for everything. Do the patients care? No. They accept that as the norm, which to me is ridiculous, but that's okay. That is how booked and packed this physician is, and his patients want to see him, and that's pretty much what they've come to expect. If you know that, and you know that someone's looking for a doctor, say that, hey, I don't know, I'm not speaking from first-hand experience, but many of my patients, my members, my clients tell me this, and this. So use that as part of kind of your local expertise in figuring out whether or not a benefit is going to work, right? That is something that many of us fail to do. We say, oh, look at this, it says XYZ here on the paper, it must work. No, sometimes it doesn't. And I always think about this whenever I have these like money back guarantees, or you go to the store and you get this stuff. I'm like, well, you know what, if something goes wrong, I'll just buy another one, because I don't want to have to go through the hassle of using a warranty anymore. You know, unless it's something like my washer, or you know, where getting a replacement is going to be just as problematic as getting a replacement, or you know, buying a whole new washer is going to be just as problematic as filing the warranty, probably. You know, other than that, I'm just going to say no to the warranty and just buy a whole other one. So is it going to be like that for the plan usage? Like, instead of getting the transportation in the plan, should they just go and get an Uber instead? And if that's so, don't even consider it a benefit when talking about the plan. Now, a lot of people are going to be using the internet now to buy plans, and this could cause problems. But remember, if someone uses the internet to buy a plan, they're buying it without consulting you typically. So if stuff doesn't work, you can illustrate or just use that example as something to say, hey, you know, look, I know it's not going to work. I tell my clients, don't rely on the transportation. Use someone that you know, or get an Uber, schedule something with a taxi, because local transportation thus far hasn't been very good. Maybe you can use them to take you to pick up a prescription medication or something, you know? Something that doesn't require you to be on there at the time, like for surgery or something. Or maybe they take you and then you can figure out whether or not they're a reliable service. But as of right now, and this is the last like 4 or 5 years that transportation has been a thing in the local market that I work, hasn't worked out for the people who want to use it. So what then? Always, right? How can you use this for your clients? I would say to review the benefits that they're going to use, and just make note if they're looking at some other benefit, or even if they're not, if they're just glazing over it, just say, hey, you know, some of these benefits don't work that great. You know, it looks good on paper, but here's kind of like the down low, because I've been doing this for a long time. You know, that shows that you are looking out for them. You're not just in it to say, hey, we're all excited, all these benefits look great, sign up today. You're in it for them, and you're in it for the long haul, because that is one of the most important things. I have turned away countless people because it just didn't make sense for them to change plan. And I wasn't going to go and do a broker of record, because to me, the broker who signed them up did a great job. Why am I going to change it, right? Doesn't make sense. No. If they want to ask me for help, will I help them? Potentially. But they're not going to be top of the line. And should I? Probably not. Probably shouldn't help them. But remember, it's a long game. We are playing the long game. And as a Medicare agent, someone who is this, your clients expect you to be there for the long game. They want to rely on you for help. And that is what we do. Do good things. Have a great week. I'll see you at the end of the week to give you my summary of what my clients asking me about, and figuring out if there's anything that you guys can learn from